Jai Hind cadets. Today we will learn through the slides the mechanism of breathing. It is in the process of respiration, it is a life process, and in the last class we have discussed about the structure of lungs and the upper respiratory tract and lower respiratory tract and entire structure of the lungs. Now today, in a very simple language, in a simple way, we are going to learn about the mechanism of breathing. So let us start this. First of all, we will see this how the lungs react in our body. Now see, you can see that lungs is actually or basically it is associated with the inspiration and expiration. Inspiration means the taking of air, and expiration, expiration, it is the exhaling out, means the air comes out from the body, from the lungs, that is called expiration. Inspiration means taking the air, and expiration means the lungs removes the carbon dioxide. Okay, if we are talking about the lungs, then at first we should know the entire structure of the lungs. Now see, this is the diagram of the lungs. The complete structure is, once again it is revised, and you can see there are two parts of the lungs, two lobes of the lungs especially. There is right lobes and another side is a left lobe. Now the basic, can you tell the basic differences between these two lobes? The basic difference, you can see that the right lobe is made up of three parts. There are the three parts, the three arrows are there, you can see, and in the left lobe there is only two parts. So generally one question comes in a MCQ, how many parts are present in the right lobes? So you can say that there are three cut marks already you can see in the right lobes, and only one cut marks is there. So the left lobe is divided into two parts. Okay. Now outside the lungs there is a pleura. You can see that just below the left lobe the term is written pleura. It is a protective layer. Okay. This protective layer helps the lung to expand and to contract easily, smoothly, and it just does not allow the lungs to face the friction. So it is highly protective layer. Pleural fluid is present inside it, that also helps in the shock absorber. Okay, inside that lungs you can see that the trachea, from the top portion the trachea is divided and redivides, and ultimately it forms the bronchioles. Now this lung is housed where? That is a question. Where it is present inside the lung? So when you see in my picture that I have given one diagram, this is called thoracic cage. It means that this very muscular structure, the soft muscular structure we can say, this is present inside this thoracic cage. This is the thoracic cage, and you already learned about it in class 6 7 also. This is a thoracic cage, and just in front of there one very hard bone is there, that is called sternum, and at the top of the sternum there is a manubrium, and just from the sternum you can see the chest bone, it is also called the sternum. You can see that the ribs are coming out. So at this stage, in you are in class 10, so you should know how many pairs of ribs are there. So already it is given in the diagram. There is a 12 pairs of ribs, 12 pairs of ribs, not 12 ribs. There are 12 pairs of ribs. So you can see that at the top 1 to 7 pairs that are called true ribs, already written here very clearly, and 8 to 12 number ribs are the false ribs. Okay, 8 to 12 only, but 11 and 12 ribs are the floating ribs. These also have very important role to play. Can you guess which type of role they used to play in our body? That is the floating ribs. So there are 12 pairs of ribs are there. So this is the protective covering of the lungs. So inside this, the very soft tissue is present. This is of lungs. Now come to this structure. This is the structure. Again you can see that in between the two lungs there is a heart. It means the heart is placed in the central part of the lungs. Just you can see at the bottom of the lungs there is a brown colored dome shaped structure that is called diaphragm. Now the arrow is coming here. You can see the diaphragm word is there, very important, and today's discussion is basically on the diaphragm and the muscles which is made up of. The diaphragm is especially made up of the phrenic muscles. Now see this diaphragm dome shaped structure. This is the dome shaped structure, and this diaphragm turns flat and then again turns dome shaped, flat, dome shaped, flat. So when does it become dome shaped and when does it become flat? That is we are going to learn today. Now in the next diagram you can see what is the diagram here. Again I have given one diagram, that is the thoracic cavity. Means finally we have seen this lung is housed in the thoracic cage made up of ribs, and there is at the bottom of this thoracic cage there is a muscular structure that is called diaphragm. Correct. Now this two line is very important, and today's discussion is basically based on this two line, the external intercostal muscles and internal intercostal muscles. Now what is intercostal muscles? Now see this internal and external intercostal muscles. Before that you have to see once again this thoracic cage, and you will see that these ribs are also connected with each other with the muscles. So these are called the intercostal muscles. These are called the intercostal muscles. So intercostal muscles are of two types, external intercostal muscles and internal intercostal muscles. Now what is the question that comes in the mind? What is the role of these two muscles, that is external and internal intercostal muscles? So these two roles, the roles of these two muscles are very important. Now see in this diagram you can understand that in the first diagram the process is called inhalation, where it is clearly written that diaphragm contracts or moves down. It means this arrow, blue color arrow, shows the original position of the diaphragm. This is the original position, dome shape. Now this down arrow in the first diagram shows that the diaphragm has already flattened. It means it has created a space right now. So it is not only due to the diaphragm but also the ribs. You can see the red colored structure. The rib cage expands as the rib muscles contracts. Muscles contract, diaphragm contract. It means it is the active process. What is the active process? You can say that the inhalation, that is inspiration, is an active process, but expiration is a passive process. So now it is clear, very clearly it is mentioned now that inspiration is an active process and expiration, this next diagram, it is the exhalation, this is a passive process. Now the question comes, why it is called active? So here you can see that here the diaphragm contracts and rib cage expands, rib muscles contract, means two muscles are getting contracted, so it is an active process. Now due to the contraction, the external intercostal muscles that just pulls the rib cage upward. Right now due to that again there is a pressure decrease inside the lungs. Because as we know that we have already studied in Boyle's law what is the relationship between the volume and the pressure. That is, when the pressure is high, it means the volume is less, and when the volume is high, then the pressure is less. So here what happens when the volume becomes high, that is inside the lung, the volume becomes high. It means why the volume becomes high, it is quite clear that the due to the diaphragm goes down and all the ribs goes up, means the spaces have already increased, and inside that the volume has already increased to take up the oxygen, so the pressure already decreased. Now the pressure is low, it means that outside, in comparison to the outside external environmental pressure, inside pressure is low, so all the external air rush towards inside the body. It is called the inhalation. So that in the process of inhalation, all the air through the atmosphere comes inside our body due to the pressure change. So pressure change is very important here to understand. And which factors, what are the factors that allows the air to get inside it? The first factor is that diaphragm contracts and it moves down, and all the rib cage expands. Due to that, the volume increases, and just vice versa, the pressure decreases as the diaphragm just moves to its original position, that is moves up, and the rib cage get its smaller, means rib muscles get relaxed. It means the rib muscles, that is intercostal muscles, get relaxed, and diaphragm also get relaxed. It means no activity, means it is an passive process, it is no contraction is there, everything is getting relaxed. So what happens, due to the relaxation, the volume inside the lungs decreases, the volume inside the lung decreases, so the pressure becomes high, and soon the air comes out through the nose. And this can be shown in this diagram also. This is the bottle, chest, suppose that it is a chest, that is bottle, chest cavity, it is chest cavity, and straw, suppose that it is a trachea, and rubber sheath is a diaphragm. Now if you just pull the rubber sheet downward, automatically inside the chest cavity, that is bottle, there is a balloons, two balloons are there. These two balloons get swell, means there is a changes, means automatically the air fills inside the balloon, and when you leave this diaphragm, that is rubber sheet, then it flattens. So this is the process, very important process, that is also happening inside our body. Now see, this is the inspiration, this is inspiration, means what, that is inhalation, that is we have already discussed. Inhalation means air pushed inside it, and what happens when air goes inside our lungs, then automatically diaphragm goes down and the external intercostal muscles comes out. So the arrow in the first diagram outside shows that it is expanding, and in the second diagram everything is towards inside, it means expiration, right, exhalation. Okay, now air enters, already we have discussed that air enters and it is called inspiration. Now what are the changes, stepwise changes are there, and this is generally asked in the examination, and you have to make notes over it. That is inhalation, what are the changes? First of all, intercostal muscles relaxed, external muscles contracts, a rib cage moves upwards, nearly we have already discussed about in external intercostal muscles and rib cage, that getting contract, diaphragm also contracts, volume of thoracic cavity increases, pressure in the alveoli decreases. So pressure in the alveoli decreases means air gets inside the alveoli. Okay, air gets inside the alveoli. Similarly, what happens in case of the air that comes out from the lungs, that is diaphragm again goes up. Then what are the changes you see in the process of exhalation? This is the changes we see generally, that is internal intercostal muscles contracts, as a result external intercostal muscles getting relaxed, in that external intercostal muscles contract during the inhalation, and here just opposite, here in the external intercostal muscles get relaxed, rib cage moves downward, and these are the process stepwise that helps the process of exhalation. So now we have already studied about the process of breathing, very important part of our NCERT syllabus, because you have seen that in the NCERT book, in the process of respiration, alveoli picture is there in the detail, and there is a complete 2-3 paragraph, the complete details have already been given. So through this picture we have learned about the process of respiration, that is breathing. Take now, these are some special topics to discuss, that is if you have already learned about the respiration, that is breathing process, then everybody must be anxious about what are the diseases associated with. Sometimes it is asked in the multiple type question. So it is these are the diseases, that is COPD, that is called emphysema. Especially these types of diseases are occurring due to the excessive smoking, right? Now due to that, the that is alveoli size also decreases, and it fails to contract and relax. As a result, very low amount of air enters into it, and gaseous exchange also fails. Due to that, the reflux of air is seen. So these are the chronic bronchitis, that is called asthma, that is emphysema. Asthma is the chronic inflammation of the lung airways, and influenza, that is pneumonia, you know, it is generally happens in the age of between 1 to 12, and these are highly deadly disease for the children, pneumonia, asthma, and all these things. Okay, now come to the assignments. So if you are the student, you must have the notes, because I have seen that most of the students neglect writing notes, and ultimately when the exam comes, and then they start searching notes here and there, and ultimately they becomes the losers. So don't want to become that. Don't just put yourself under this chronic situation. So try to write all the notes wherever there are the notes. I don't say that only my notes, but from where, either it is NCERT or any other books, try to make the special notes. Otherwise it becomes very problematic for you for during the examination period. So why does smoking cigarette cause emphysema? Write the organs of respiration in entities. Entities given below. These are flat worm, frog, birds, cockroach. These are very important question, very important question. And basically the most important question is the write a note on the mechanism of breathing. So inspiration and expiration, if you are writing along with the term intercostal muscles and diaphragm contracts, relax, and all these things, and step by step I have already seen, we have seen in the picture. If you are writing this not in the paragraph wise, I have already due to a space I have written in the paragraph way, but if you are writing the point wise direction, simply you will get full marks, obviously, no problem at all. So these are few questions, just make a notes and be happy during the examination period. Okay, so I hope this point and this topic is already clear. So in the next class we will discuss another topic with a sincere diagram and with the sincere details, and I hope that you should also be present with the sincerity and makes the notes very sincerely, so that your examination will be happy examination, and your examination result will be happy for your parents also. Okay, till then, thank you, goodbye.